Okay. And let me make sure I got it here. Hmm. I'm looking for the actual file. It's funny, I opened it ahead of time. I'm having some troubles here.
Just click on it twice. Welcome, connect. Yeah.
Well, I've been trying to. There we go. And I can't open it. Let me see. I just had it here a minute ago. I was just looking at it. There it is. Okay. Now, let me see if I can share this. I'm just going to share it on the desktop. And so you should be able to see it now.
Yep.
Okay. So, I've been just following some of the stuff through Rotary International, and they basically partnered with US or Welcome US, which is an organization that is welcoming refugees in. So my wife and I logged onto this site, and we met a whole bunch of Ukrainian refugees. And actually, this is the website here. It's called Connect Welcome US. Basically, they're asking Rotarians who have resources available to them to consider sponsoring a Ukrainian. This Welcome US site is almost the only thing I can think of comparing it to is a dating site. So you go on and you have Ukrainians who are looking for sponsorship. And actually, this is just all the ones that I were able to fit. We talked to probably 40 or 50 families. And what happens is you go on and you basically tell them about you. You tell them about your resources, et cetera. Like, I'm right next to a Marine base. So I'm like, we got artillery fire, we've got explosions, we got jets, that could trigger some of your families. We're also in Eastern North Carolina, which, there's limited resources for some people too. But we talked to these folks here back and forth over, I don't know, the past year or so. And one day I got this message right here from Katerina. And this was the original message that she sent. She says, I'm not sure what to write, to be honest. My name is Kate. I'm 25 years old and traveling with my younger sister. Our parents are still in Ukraine. I guess you guys can read it just as well as I could. And we talked back and forth. And we learned about each other, and I learned about them and what their situation was. And I talked to my wife and I said, what do you think? Should we sponsor these two young ladies? And she said, you know what? Yeah, we get some empty bedrooms in the house. Why not? So we asked Katerina and Daria, would you like us to be your sponsors? And they were like, we'll have to think about it. No, they didn't. They were like, yes, absolutely. Because they really were seeking someone to help them. And so you go through immigration, you fill out an I-134 form. And basically what happens is you obligate yourself to being financially responsible for them for up to 2 years. And that's providing housing and support, okay? Now, your job, you go through training for this, just like youth protection training, and you got to go through this, and they teach you, you're not supporting them, you're guiding them so they can be on their own. And so basically their job is to get out of your house as soon as they can. Your job is to connect them to the resources. And that's why they're asking Rotarians to do that, because we have lots of resources. We have lots of contacts. If you think about yourself through your scouting and things like that, you get a lot of contacts with people that you can connect them to. So there's no set retired amount for humanitarian sponsorship. they say it's a good idea to raise about $3,000 per refugee to get them over here. And Katerina actually paid for her way over here. Her sister Daria just turned 18, and so now she needs a passport. And we've been waiting for her to get her passport. In the meantime, Katerina's permission to travel was expiring. And about 2 weeks ago, they just said, we made a decision. Kate's coming. Daria's going to just wait for her passport. So she's back with her sisters. So anyways, that's the whole story. That's how we got into it. And now I want to introduce Katerina. She calls herself Kate. Her last name sounds exactly the way it's spelled. And she'll talk to you about her end of the journey also in a better voice than I have. Okay. And and you know how to do the slides?
Mhm.
Okay.
Hello again.
Yeah, they can't see.
Hello.
Oh, okay. So as you know already, my name is Kate. Katerina is my full name. My surname is pronouncing as Jerdecka, but it's kind of hard for foreigners, so just Kate. What can I say? So we were living originally in Odessa. It's a big city in Ukraine, one of the major cities in Ukraine. It's a deep water port, a very historical place, very touristic place. And we were living there for basically all our lives. And when the war started, we were forced to move from there, to leave the city. It wasn't an easy decision because basically the whole life, the whole connections, community, all your memories, stuff, all that you have is there, and it was a hard decision to leave my city. And basically we left only with one suitcase and two backpacks for a person. And first of all, it wasn't easy to get to the border because there was no gas, all the roads were closed, and Patrick loved the story about the bridge. To cross the border, we were going to Moldova. It's like our neighbor, border to border. So we were going there, and to get to Moldova, you need to cross the bridge. And it was a long day. We were driving many hours because, as I said, the roads were closed, no gas, so it was not easy to find an opportunity to go there. And when we finally crossed the bridge, 15 minutes later, I saw in the news that it was bombed. So I was like, okay, we were very lucky. So now Odessa looks like this, mostly. The center of city is still beautiful, but all around, where people are living and the private houses with stuff, so mostly destroyed. Many houses are destroyed. Unfortunately, and this actually one of the bridges that were destroyed during the Russian attack, and how people are trying to go over it. We went to Moldova, and we were living in this kind of dormitory. We were living there for 2 weeks. Why 2 weeks? Because we thought that the war would not last long. We thought it would be over in
Yeah.
maybe.
Come here for a minute.
Yeah. So. So we thought it would be over in a month maybe, or in 2 months. So we were going to wait nearby, but then the place we were staying in were closed, and we basically found ourselves in like foreign country in the middle of the street, and we was like, okay, what should we do now? And because I can speak English pretty good, we decided to go to Ireland because it's another country in Europe, and it's English speaking country, and it's like slightly nearby, so we would be able to like be not so far away from our home. And it's my sister, by the way. It's like how we were traveling. So we went to Ireland, and we were living in this kind of dormitory. It's a bit better, as you can see. We were living there for almost a year. And then when we saw that the war is not going to be over soon, and like this place we're going to close as well, and we just decided that we need to move somewhere. We need to leave, to go forward, to like build our life, because we can't just live on hold all the time, like till till we die. So I was searching for opportunities and for the places to go, and I found Welcome US. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting for someone to actually help me there, because like I'm a complete stranger. No one knows me. I don't have friends or relatives in America. And I registered there, but I was quite, I don't know, skeptical for this site. But when Patrick and Nancy answered me, and they actually agreed to be our sponsors, I was very surprised and very grateful. And you can imagine like you being in these circumstances when you don't know what will wait you tomorrow, like if you will have the place to live and anything like that. And finally you have some, I don't know, hope to build your life and to just live as all normal people around you. And it's kind of fascinating. So the decision to part with my sister also wasn't the easiest decision, but it was the best what that we can do in that circumstances. So we decided to part, and for me to go to US first, and my sister would come here hopefully till the end of the month, but we can't be sure, unfortunately. But she's in a safe place right now, so it's pretty okay. So I landed in New York. It was a holiday day, and yeah, I have a terrible haircut. So I landed in New York, and it was, first of all, it was hard to realize that I'm finally there, like I finally landed. Till the very last moment, I wasn't actually be able to believe that this is really happening. And when I landed there, I saw all these like buildings I saw in the movies, and the Declaration of Liberty, and all these like museums. I was there only one day, but I went through all over the city because I was just, I want to see this. And when I finally met Pat and Nancy, it was me in the airport, exhausted from the flights. But I was really, really happy to finally meet them, and they're wonderful people. I can say it now, because not only because they're helping me, but like in general, they helped a lot of people before me. And I think we should, like, if we could just have a bit more people like them, the world would be a better place. And so this is like the slide about just the information of how to support other Ukrainians, and this is the QR code for the GoFundMe that Patrick created. So basically, I'm not the only one who were waiting for help, and my sister not the only one. There are a lot of like hundreds and hundreds of people who could be in even worse circumstances than we were, that are just waiting for someone to help them. So even if you are not willing to be a sponsor, there are many different ways to help these people and to just make their life slightly a bit easier.
Great.
Thank you.
And Kate, go up there and hit stop this share. The share screen. There you go. And then you can answer questions.
But if you have like any questions or something like that.
So, so on the news, the radio piece that you did the other day, I thought you said that your sister had gone back to Ukraine.
Yes, she's back in Ukraine now with our parents. They left the place we were living, and now they're on the west part of the country, where it's much safer. So yeah, as soon as she will get her passport, she will travel here and just live with me.
And what's involved? Do you know what's involved with her still getting her passport at this point?
Well, to be honest, I don't, because I know that people who applied half a year ago still are not getting their passport, like they don't get their passport yet. And we are not expecting, like, first of all, we are not expected it to take so long. We thought it would be like a month maybe, but like our government is quite busy now.
Yeah, they've got a few other things on their plates.
So it's just not the first thing they're thinking about, I guess.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it comes soon.
Yeah. So,
Kate, have you done some university study already, or what are your hopes and plans now that you're in the US?
well, I have a degree in journalism, but as it often happen in our world, after the graduation, I was working in a completely different field. I was working mostly in IT, is like tech support, technical assist, and all that stuff. And I would like to continue my journey in this field and to get a proper degree and just continue my career here.
Hey, Kate, I just wanted to apologize if I yelled while you were presenting. I called my son because I wanted him to hear your stories, and he came down and listened. So that was that. So
Don't worry, that's
apologize. So I'm curious.
Go ahead, Joe.
I was curious. The two of the pictures that you showed had that round building in the city. What was that building, or what is that building?
This building is the Opera and Ballet Theater in Ukraine, and it's a very, very famous building. It's the main like place for different festivals and very like world famous movie, for example, like I don't know, festivals as well. Okay.
Sure.
So, yeah. And it's very beautiful inside. You can Google it, and it's very, very beautiful. And this, by the way, the architecture of this building is the main style of architecture of the whole city. So you can just imagine how beautiful it is and how it is to be here, there.
I just wanted to, okay. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, so that's Kate. She's been a pleasure to have here, and it's interesting, she told me today, because I thought it was like a government program, but she was with 4 girls living in that dorm room in a nursing home in Ireland, and they were charging each girl $500 a month. Sleep there. And so that's what they were, and they're closing the facility the end of the month here because they can make more money with an elderly person in that room. So she has been through, well, this will be 3 places that they closed down. And literally these folks are just homeless. They're walking around with no place to go. So and it is a pleasure. It is a pleasure. There's I have a counterpart in Wilmington that actually brought in 2 women and 4 children. And he was advertising trying to get him a job. And one is a cardiac surgeon, one is a lawyer. So we got a lot of talent that's coming out of there. And these people really have nothing. When we were putting this together, I mentioned to Kate, I was like, how about putting some of your childhood pictures or whatever? And they said, we don't have any. They're gone. They're gone. So there's a lot of opportunities to help these folks. And this is not the only war out there, but we're talking with a guy named Fergal McCarthy. Do you know Fergal, Jim?
Yeah, I definitely know.
Yeah.
Curley.
So they're looking at doing a documentary. So we've been
Oh,
recording.
cool.
Yeah, we're doing all of our we've actually recorded every single conversation we've had from the very beginning. And they're starting a blog, a Rotary blog, and they're looking at doing trying to really promote this to get more folks out here. But it is an official Rotary project. And you can actually go right into the finance page, to the the foundation page, and they have a little box there, Ukrainian Relief Fund, that you can give directly to that also. But yeah, so that was our program for today.
Excellent. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.
Okay.
Maybe.